What's good, everybody? This is the Dine with Josh and Kwab. We want to ask you to subscribe, like, and drop comments because we take your comments and we use them for future episodes of the show. You can look back at some of our full episodes. We take tweets, we take YouTube comments, and we want to incorporate you as much as possible. Please subscribe. We do reactions to primetime games and sometimes Nick games. I can't help it. Let us know what you want to.
Sometimes
okay.
Nick games.
We do it a lot. We do it a lot.
Nick games.
But interact with us. We want this to be your show too. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the video. All right, it's time for our weekly power rankings. Kwab and I give you our top 10 teams. According to us, there's no criteria. Just join along, have fun. Let us know what you think in the comments. Who do we underrate? Who do we overrate? Who should be on here? Who shouldn't be on here? And let us know our logical fallacies, which you like to do. And we're for it. I don't care. Kwab.
Look, if you don't agree with us, just make a logical argument. Like stop with some of y'all be jumping out the window. Relax. It's not that deep, brother. Like
I love it. No, I love it. This is what makes sports fun, just the disagreements and being able to state your case. I like it. I like it. But I will respond in the comments like, yes, and I'm nice. I'm nice. You're dealing with me when you're talking in the comments.
Too nice. And I say, by the way, too nice.
I think debate is a part of sports culture, and it's a great thing. So anyway, let's start with number 10. The Milwaukee Bucks make the – give it up. Give it up for the Bucks.
I just want to make the point. That the Bucks have been winning since the Nassers has been showing up, sitting in the bench in the front row and cheering on. Just want to make the point.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. How much of this is on Thanasis? How much of this?
All of it.
Every single part of it.
It's not coaching. It's not that the team has been playing better. None of that. Right. It's just
not Dane carrying them in Miami. Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Not me. When the family shows up, you know what I mean. The team goes hard. That's all that matters.
All vibes.
It hasn't been because of the coaching making changes in the lineup.
AJ Green on the starting lineup, balling. Now Giannis having an MVP candidate type season. Nothing like that. Okay, got you.
That just shows up presence. You know what I mean, the energy gets built up. You know what I mean. So Bucks, you're number 10 now. You're number 10.
Thanks for listen, there are a lot of teams that have better records than the Bucks, but those teams don't have higher ceilings than the Bucks, I would say. And also, like, we've had the Bucks in the corner where the New York Knicks are right now. You better sit there and think about how you played against the Mavericks and Jazz. But we wanted to show them love. They've been in the corner for too long.
And they got Chris Middleton is on his way back too. So I mean, they should be trending up. I try to make the argument for the Nets to be number 10, but
not happening.
But somebody didn't want to agree with me. So now we have the Bucks.
They are under 5. We put a 500 team at number 10, which might be blasphemous. There's going to be a lot of teams, Western Conference teams, who fans of them have just been like, you guys are out of your mind. And they're leaving the video right now because we have the Bucks at 10. That's what's happening. Our retention rate has just dipped a little bit. Let's go to number 9, where you have the Los Angeles Clippers, 12-8, 6-1 in their last 7, Kwab, with wins against the Kings, Sixers, and Wizards. They lost at Boston. They got smacked by Boston. That was their week. But 3-1, James Harden, quietly doing James Harden things. He's been great for the Clippers. I think I wouldn't say godsend. I was going to say that. Now that would have been jumping out the window a little bit. But him and Norman Powell. Norman's been hurt. But other players stepping up, man. I like the Clippers, and low key, Kawhi's waiting in the wings. Who knows?
Nobody knows. No.
Nobody knows. We don't know.
No.
You don't even know. Watching, you have no idea. You don't know.
You don't know if he's coming. You don't know if he comes back. That'd be great for the Clippers, though.
Yeah,
that'd be great for the Clippers when he comes back.
It'd be great for the Clippers to make the second round with Kawhi, and then all of a sudden they take a 2-0 lead in the second round, and Kawhi decides, "Nah, I'm done. Can't do it."
When did that happen? That's crazy.
That happened in Phoenix, but
sounds like fan fiction. I don't think that
it happened when they played Phoenix. But I will say this: to be fair to Kawhi, he's hurt. Yep. What are you gonna do when you're hurt? I can't say that he's just goes up 2-0 and decides to sit out. I don't think that's true. I think he's legitimately hurt. And I feel bad for him.
After he was having a great series too, which
he was killing it.
It's wild. It's wild. But shout out to the Clippers, man. They've been all season. They've been playing well. James Harden, like he said, he's the system. So I mean, it's been working, and they've been winning.
Shout out to Ty Lue. I give him a lot of. I thought Ty Lue was a little overrated in Cleveland. Not gonna lie. I thought he was a product of LeBron James, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. All right, so we went to number 8, the Memphis Grizzlies, in at 12-7 with wins over the Bulls, Blazers, and Pistons. They did not lose last week. John Moran is back. He's dunking on people. This team is deep. Jalen Wells is dope. Just Jay Huff, another person out of nowhere. It's almost like they become the Miami Heat of the West. Kwab, your thoughts on the Grizzlies?
Yeah, they've been even through all the injuries, they've still been playing hard. They've been winning.
They're deep, bro.
They're deep. If they're able to all get healthy at the right time, which has been like the main issue. Like even when we did the Memphis Grizzlies preview, we kept we didn't want to say the word that they were cursed, but it always feels like they're cursed. Like they'll have a good stretch and somebody gets injured. But they're a deep team, like Scottie Pippen Jr. have going off in Chicago.
Right. And they had they scored like 140. Like I don't know what the score was, but I remember the score being like astronomically high. But they're playing the Bulls. The Bulls are the worst defensive team in the league, and also I think they play at the fastest pace.
Yes, I think so too.
So you're gonna get that in Bulls games.
You're gonna get that, and also like you said, you mentioned a couple of players like Jay Huff, like he's.
I love him. I love him.
That man stole or activated a Plumlee dunk package. All he does is reverse dunks. I don't know.
He's Kizzo. That's Kizzo.
Good call. Yeah, true.
Looks and everything. That's who he is. All right, let's move on to number 7. We have the Dallas Mavericks in at 11-8 with wins over the Nuggets, the Hawks, and the Knicks. They did lose in Miami, but they have been without Luka. I was really impressed with the Nuggets. I'm not the Nuggets. I've been really impressed with the Mavs, what I saw with them this week. They went up huge in Denver. Denver came all the way back. They took the haymaker to the face and ended up winning that game. Just finished them wiping the floor. Watching them wipe the floor with my New York Knicks. I miss you, Quentin Grimes. They did lose to the Heat in an overtime game, which I think they actually should have won. They were up like 4 or 5 with I think like 20, 30 seconds left. But I've watched a lot of Dallas Mavericks basketball this week, and I'm very impressed with the others. I mean, talk about the help that Kyrie and Luka has. You have P.J. Washington. Najee Marshall's having a great year. Quentin Grimes is coming around. He's been playing really well lately. They're sent Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Spencer Dinwiddie like Kobe Bryant today for some reason. This team is good, man. We have them at 7. I think eventually we're going to get to a point where they're going to be consistently in the top 5.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Spencer going off against Joe shouldn't be anything new. He doesn't like.
I don't know if you saw the shots he was hitting today. They were just absurd.
He likes beating up on the Knicks. Just that's a format that it's just tradition. You try to show off on the Knicks, but like you said, the others but another team that's kind of shown they're kind of deep, and you're waiting to see what it looks like when Luka gets back. To me, they look like they've been playing faster without Luka, and the ball's hopping around. It's more spread out. So you're hoping that continues when Luka gets back. So hopefully he comes back healthy, because even in the Nuggets game, there were stretches where they kind of hit a lull and they weren't scoring. It was kind of slow. And those are the times Luka would probably like just go off for a little, hit step backs and create for a couple other players. So yeah, they're good. They're good. So I don't know if their return to the finals good though, but they're good.
I think they might be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just based off what I've seen from the Western Conference. We'll get into one of the teams later, but again, like to your point, you just said this, but just to hammer it down, like in the half court. PJ Washington's like getting buckets. You have Najee Marshall like with the ball handling the rock. It's not just like what it is with Luka, where they give the ball to Luka and he just decides who to pass it to and make something happen, which isn't always a bad thing. They're not doing that with Kyrie, where he's doing that. It's kind of like there's motion and people are moving, and it's Quentin Grimes. Like, listen, if you're a fan of the Dime, if you listen to the Dime, you're very well aware of this rant that I'm about to say. But this is what happens when you don't stick Quentin Grimes in the corner and just leave him alone and pass him the basketball. He's actually pretty fucking good. He's pretty good. He can do things.
He's all right.
And the Mavs are doing that with every one of their players. They're giving Marshall an opportunity to do his thing. They're giving Washington an opportunity to do his thing. They're lobbing it up to Lively. All right, so we on to number 6, the Orlando Magic in at 13-7 wins at the Lakers. Franz Wagner Game winner there in a comeback.
Nah.
Wagner. Oh yeah, Wagner. Wagner. Pronounce it correctly.
No, don't do it. Don't. I'm not. Don't start. Don't start that. We're
Okay.
not. We're not doing that.
starting that.
We're not
Okay.
doing that. We're not doing that joke.
And they also beat the Pistons, Hornets, and Bulls. They did not lose. They have
Nope.
not lost since the last time we did our power rankings. They move up 2 spots to the 6th spot. Very impressive what they're doing with Apollo. Good defensive team. Jalen Suggs is, still ascending, which is one of the keys to the season. Shout out to Stephen Cameron, who we had on during our preview. Kwab, your overall thoughts on the Magic?
Hey man, like you said, very impressive that you're still winning without Paulo, who looked like he was having a MVP type season to start the year, and they've been consistently really good defensively. I think it's always like you try to look at the positive when have a positive outlook when a big piece of your team is not there. You try to see who's going to be able to step up. So when he comes back, they can continue that. And the Magic have just been, just consistent all around. You up and down the roster, like Wendell Carter Jr. He's back. He's been playing well. Goga has been playing well
Goga's
all year.
game.
Yeah,
I love Goga's game. Yeah.
like and just the Wagner brothers also still playing consistent, and they still have a good guard play. So I mean they're a tough team in the East. I feel like they're one of those teams where they're gonna end up beating somebody they shouldn't in the playoffs, and somebody's gonna be pissed. Some fan base. I'm not gonna say who, but fan base is gonna be pissed.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. I'm just saying they're gonna beat somebody that's that's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 5 is the Golden State Warriors, 12-6. They beat the Pelicans only, and they lost to the Spurs, Nets, and Thunder. They were without Curry.
I'm sorry. Who they lose to?
The Spurs,
Oh,
the Thunder.
Okay.
Oh, the Nets. The Nets.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
A huge Nets with a huge comeback on the road, by the way. Which I don't know what's going on in Brooklyn. I have no idea what's going on in Brooklyn.
But we could make 10. I'm sorry.
Get to 500.
Warriors.
Get to
Warriors.
500
We're
first.
talking about the Warriors. Yeah.
Buddy Hill
Warriors.
has come back down to earth. Steph missed the game against the Thunder, so that was a litmus test for me going into this game. Kwab and I were going to do a reaction. Steph went out, and we said we're not doing that anymore. So they do drop a few spots here to number 5. I still think they're very dangerous. If Buddy Hield continues to play how he plays, I think they're a move away at the trade deadline from being taken very seriously. Still a top 5 team, but when you go 1-3 in the week, you got to drop a little bit.
Yeah, agree. I mean, even without Curry, this game with the Thunder, they only lost by 4. They were able to make a comeback. They're, like we've been saying all year, they're a deep team, and Steve Kerr has been playing 10, 12 deep in terms of his rotation. That's deeper than he was playing in the Olympics, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, I mean the Warriors, man. The Warriors look again when Curry plays. They look really, really good.
Yeah.
Just really good. Like you mentioned before, Buddy Hield having a great season. Draymond is having a great season also. So yeah, we have them where we have just because they didn't win a lot of games this week, but they're still one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, so they're in the top 5 for now. We'll see how they react to this down a week. Let's move to number 4. This is a surprise, but this is the Houston Rockets, 14-6, wins over the Blazers, Wolves, and Sixers. They did lose to the Blazers as well, but a very entertaining game in Minnesota. This is a team I think that is very young, very exciting. I think they have a clear ceiling, though. I think their half-court offense needs to get better. It's kind of brutal to watch in late-game situations if it doesn't run through Sengun. That's probably the only half-court offense that I like from them. But outside of that, man, I mean, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, we bragged about them last week. We're going to brag about them again. They are 2 difference makers, 2 game breakers, in my opinion. When you have 2 people on the side, that defensive side of the ball, who can literally just change a game with defensive energy and just energy coming off the bench, that's huge, man. I like Eason. They're young, though, and to me, we have them here at 4. I don't think they'll be top 5 for long, but definitely wanted to show some love.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said. Also, shout out Dylan Brooks. What?
Yes.
He's on
Yeah,
the
shout out.
team. Like
He's having a good year.
he's on the team, bro.
He's
Like
having
what
a
do
good year. Yeah, he is.
yeah, that's
That's
all I
not why you
got.
said it. That's not why you said it.
That's not why I said why would shout out Dylan Brooks now.
Yeah.
To your point, repeating everything you said, like we've been shouting the praises of Tari East
Yeah.
and Amin Thompson. We discussed this last one of the previous episodes. Like at some point they're gonna either have to start them or keep playing them very high rotation minutes just because
Yeah.
they just changed the game so much. But yeah, and I mean, shout out Dylan Brooks.
It's one of number 3. The OKC Thunder coming in at 14-4, wins over the Blazers, the Kings at Golden State. They did not lose last week. Having Isaiah Hartenstein is a breath of fresh air for this team. Let me tell you how much better they look with him. And honestly, I know I kind of ripped them last week because of how their offense looked. But to be fair to them, they were going small ball. You can't go small ball all the time, and expect to be successful and rebounding the ball and playing defense and all that type of stuff. So having Isaiah Hartenstein in the lineup to me is just, it's a breath of fresh air because he does so much for them in the pick and roll game in the short roll. He can find the open man. He can hit a float. I was watching the Warriors Thunder game before. He hit a floater from like 18 feet, like from past the free throw line. Just a floater with his left hand. He's a fantastic passer. He's had highlight reel passes since he's been back. Today, they gave him the pass on the perimeter. I think it was Isaiah Joe. I might be wrong, but came off of his shoulder with a screen with Isaiah at the ball. Isaiah, in one motion, screens the guy. Like, he passes the ball through his legs, screens the guy, and then Joe hits the 3. It might have been at someone else. I think it was Isaiah Joe. But, I mean, just having that, and that's exactly what they needed, right? Like, last week, I was like, I'm kind of worried about their offense, and, their half-court offense just kind of seems SGA ISO and just kind of pass the ball around the perimeter and shoot a 3. But having iHeart there makes such a huge difference. So, for me, a little bit of a breath of fresh air, but I still don't think they're as good as people say they are.
Ooh, spicy take there, buddy.
don't.
I think they just need to get healthy to see what they
Yeah.
really look like. I think they lost one of the Jalen Williams today. The one that starts. They lost him to like an eye injury. And not still waiting to get Chet back from his injury, and also Caruso has been in and out of the lineup. I don't think he played this game either. Those are very big factors in.
They are. I gotta be fair. They are. Yeah. They are. Thunder fans don't come out. I know. I get it.
Very big factor. So if and when they're fully healthy, it's when like I will have like my opinion about them. But I still think they're a very, very good team, if not the best team in the West.
Yeah, I think if I'm a Thunder fan right now, responding to me, like yelling at my laptop or phone or tablet or TV, like, you idiot. They started off the season winning the first like 5 or 6 games by double digits. Like, you just don't do that.
With ease.
And that was with Chet, and Chet was looking amazing. So if you get Chet back, along with iHeart being back, yeah, I get it. It just, to me, I just feel like I watch them, and sometimes in the half court, they kind of make me nervous. Like, there's a couple of like, ooh, I don't know, but we'll see. They're definitely talented, and I will be rooting for them because they're a fun team. All right, let's move on to number 2. Dropping down one spot. Don't hate me for this, but we have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 17-2. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Raptors. They did lose to the Hawks. This is not a punishment. I have to like temper Cavs fans here because they're gonna come at me.
I can't believe the Cavs lost. Oh God!
How dare they lose a game?
Again. Like what are they doing? God.
I have nothing negative to say about the Cavs. You lost a game. It happens. Not a big deal. I just think the team at number 1, they beat you, and they are playing better basketball right now, and they just so happen to be the world champions. So you're better than everybody else in my mind. For now,
you could be better than the team that's number 1 too.
Yeah, you could be. I mean,
because you almost beat them too.
You go undefeated next week, and they drop a game or 2. You're right back. You're right back in there. Back in there.
Yeah. So Cleveland, this is for you. Yeah. I mean, again, we'll say the same thing we said last week. They're having a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
Phenomenal season. So it's happy for Cavs fans and happy for Kenny Atkinson. I mean, happy for Jared Allen. Happy for Karis LeVert and
We're just
yeah,
happy. We're happy for you
we're
guys.
just happy. I mean, just all the former Nets.
There's
I'm
nothing
happy
else
for.
to say. They've been fantastic. Kenny Atkinson
been
has
great.
been phenomenal. Evan Mobley has been great. And they've been hurt too. Like it's not like they've been completely healthy throughout all this. Like they've had players miss games, and they're still winning. They're still winning. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers in at number 2. That is not a punishment. But in at number 1 is the defending champions in at 15-3, recently with the win over the Cleveland Cavaliers, going undefeated this week with wins against the Wizards, the Wolves, and the Clippers. It's the Boston Celtics. I hate these guys, but they're really good. They're really good. I mean, they're champions for a reason. Did you see the announcers like flipping out, the Minnesota Timberwolves announcers flipping out over Jaylen Brown's start?
Yeah. That was funny.
Absolutely hilarious. But it is one of those things where it's like you go into Boston, you know this is a big game, you know you got to be perfect, and you know that there's certain things going into the game that could work to your advantage. And like one of the things that could work to your advantage like blows up in your face and absolutely destroys you. It's almost like having 20 in blackjack against a 6, and then the dealer pulls like a 5-card 21. It's something against Jaylen Brown. You know, Jaylen Brown's a fantastic basketball player, just where he was taking those shots was not where he's been thriving all year. So, yeah, we every time we bring up the Celtics in the power rankings, it's just like, yeah, what do you say? They're good. What do you want us to say? They didn't lose last week. They're good.
Great. They're great.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about them having that reaction of like Jaylen Brown. It's like, yeah, but that was the Finals MVP. So
Yeah, he's like he's an all-star. It's not like he's a bum. Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not like he's also a champion. Like he has his resume kind of solidified after the championship run. And I get it because Jason Tatum is the 1A and he's having a great season. They just got Kristaps back, which is that's pretty fair. You just add another piece of the Voltron line.
Did he play against the Clippers? I didn't watch that game. I just saw the score.
I
They blew him out.
I
know he's coming back soon.
I believe
Do a
he
basketball
played.
podcast.
Yeah, because I believe it was his first game back. He had 16 points, 6 for 12, 1 for 6 from the 3-point line because he has to shoot threes like the whole team. So they got Kristaps back. So now they're pretty much intact. Good luck.
Boo. Boo.
Hey,
Boo.
that's a.
I am completely jealous of your success. This is me being jealous.
Hey, look,
jealous.
they're not. They're as is shown, like they are beatable.
Yeah.
The Celtics are beatable. The
Are
Pacers
they
did it.
beatable 4 times out of 7 beatable, or are they just
I
catch them
I
on, you know?
doubt it. I doubt it. You got to be able to play a certain way and then
Yeah.
shoot a certain way to beat them. So it's gonna be interesting come playoff time because you never know. But they're scary good.